Back to School Information Session. I am Chris Fletcher, your Garrison Public Affairs Director. For the best listening experience, we recommend using headphones. We're excited to bring everyone together to discuss the latest and greatest news on our coastal Georgia school districts. We have been compiling questions from families for about a week through our social media platforms, and throughout this information session, we'll get you the answers that you're looking for. If you have questions that are generated from the discussion today, we ask that you identify which school district you're looking to hear from and then list your question in the thread below. We will monitor the discussion threads until close of business July 28th and then get you the answer that you're looking for no later than July 31st from the school district. With that, I'd like to turn it over to our Fort Stewart-Hunter Army Airfield Garrison Commander, Colonel Manny Ramirez.
Welcome. This is Colonel Manny Ramirez, your friendly neighborhood garrison commander. Thanks for joining us tonight for our back to school information session. We have a few special guests today, both in real life and virtually. Today I'm joined by our Fort Stewart School Liaison Officer, Mr. Greg Cook, and I'd like to welcome Dr. Franklin Perry, the Liberty County School Superintendent, and Mr. Bryan Perry, the DoDEA Superintendent, as they join us here tonight at the division headquarters. Additionally, we've got Dr. Denise Watts, the new Savannah-Chatham County School Superintendent, Dr. Paul Brookshire, the Bryan County School Superintendent, and Mr. David Edwards, the Long County School Superintendent. They're all on video waiting to inform you on their back-to-school districts, back-to-school plans for this upcoming 2023-24 school year. Before we open this up to the superintendents, I'd like to talk to their plans and how your child will be affected. I've got a few items and events of concern happening in our communities that I'd like to highlight. So please don't miss our back to school premiere starting tomorrow as we host our second Marnpalooza on Hunter Army Airfield on July 27th at Tominac Center. It starts at 3 p.m. and will go until 5 p.m. There's going to be food trucks, bounce houses, activities, and a lot more. Additionally, Fort Stewart and Hunter families will have the opportunity to engage with all of their local school representatives so that if you don't get enough of us today, you can always come see us and talk to them tomorrow. You can even get free backpacks at Marnpalooza if you're a registered family member of an active duty service member in the rank of Staff Sergeant and below. Visit our digital platforms for more information or visit operationhomefront.org. One more Hunter Army Airfield item. Lieutenant Colonel Bob Cuthbertson, your friendly neighborhood Hunter Army Airfield Garrison Commander, has prepared an awesome Patriot Day event for us all. Join us for this year's Patriot Day run on Saturday, September 9th, starting at 8 a.m. This 5K memorial run will be held in honor of our first responders and our military members. The run will take place at Forsyth Park in downtown Savannah. The cost is free for active duty and first responders, $25 for DoD ID card holders, and $35 for all others. The registration includes a custom medal, a bib, and a shirt. Packet pickup will take place on Friday, September 8th from 6 to 8 p.m., where runners can pick up their run packets and enjoy live music, food trucks, vendors, and more. So for more information, please visit the Fort Stewart Hunter Army Airfield MWR website. Finally, Wynn Army Community Hospital has been hosting health fairs to complete all examinations and paperwork for Georgia Public School health screenings, DoD school physicals, and sports participation exams. These exams include dental hygiene evaluations, vision testing, hearing evaluations, nutrition optimization, and scoliosis screening, as well as immunizations and a COVID vaccine for children 12 and over, on August 1st from 5 to 9 p.m. at the Richmond Hill Medical Home. Additional fairs are also scheduled from 5 through 11 August. Call the appointment line at 912-435-6633 to reserve your appointment today. If you cannot make any of those health fair dates, then you can schedule your own health screening via the call center at 912-435-6633. Now I'd like to invite each superintendent to discuss their district's back-to-school plans. If you have any questions, please put them in the discussion thread and annotate which district you're referencing, and we'll address them shortly. Dr. Perry, would you like to start us off?
Thank you very much, Colonel Ramirez, and thank you for allowing us to be a part of the Back to School information session. Our mission in Liberty County School District is to educate every child, regardless of where they come from, and we take a special interest in our military children. I will quickly talk about our plan, but I want to say to all parents to refer to our information, to our website for the information, because I'm not going to be able to cover the entire plan. But I will highlight some of the changes and just ask you to do a couple of things for us. The major difference, I think, this year is because of the bus driver shortage. We understand how important it is to get our students to school on time. And while we cannot, we did not create the shortage, we certainly have to manage it to where we get our children to school on time. So because of that, we're starting elementary school this year at 7:30, which is probably 10 minutes earlier than we started last year. Our high schools will start at 8:25 and end at 3:15. And our middle school will start at 8:45 and end at 3:35. If you'll notice, all of our schools, our first, no child will be picked up before 6 o'clock in the morning. And we anticipate that our children will return home certainly before dark and at a reasonable time. You can see we're starting at 7:30, and we're in our latest school, we'll end at 3:35. Couple of things for parents. We want to be, again, very transparent. I ask for your patience as we start, particularly with the new bus schedule. There might be a few bugs or things that we've got to clear, but I would say to you to be patient. We'll smooth those things out as hopefully we'll have everything really running smooth within two weeks as we start. Finally, I will say to parents that our emphasis this year is to get our students. We have some amazing teachers, administrators, but we want to work on our students to get them, what I say, gung-ho about their education. So we're going to be doing lots of things. We ask you to make sure that you talk to your child about the code of conduct. We don't want distractions with any violence. Safety is always a big concern of ours. And we just want our children to come to school, respect each other, respect themselves. And if there is a concern, we want them to go to some adult and let the adult handle that particular concern rather than them trying to handle that for themselves. Our new teachers will report on Monday. They are excited. We have approximately 80 new teachers that will be joining us. Our regular teachers will come back 2 days later, and we'll be ready to go August the 2nd. Our administrators and leaders have done a lot of planning. They are in planning now, getting ready for your child. And we just want every child to be successful every day, to enjoy school every day, but to work hard to be all that is that they can possibly be. That's our goal, and we want every child to have a great experience every day. We do have flagship schools that I'm proud of, and I want to lead into some of the things that's available or that's happening at our flagship schools, which we are very proud of.
I am Dr. Deborah Superintendent, principal at Franklin Elementary, and we are proud of our military flagship award, and we take pride in our student ambassador program where military students who transition have a difficult time sometime, but we pair them up with students to show them around the school so that they are more comfortable in their transition. We take pride in recognizing our military family members throughout the school year so students can hang pictures of their loved ones on our wall of heroes so they have that connection throughout the school day to their loved one. Also, we take pride in the fact that we have a representative from Fort Stewart who comes in and counsels with students when they're having a difficult time with their deployment or whatever hardship they may be going through. And of course, our Hiring Our Heroes program where we bring retiring soldiers into the school setting so that they can learn what the workforce is like here.
Good morning. I'm Roland Van Horn, the very proud principal here at Bradwell Institute. Wanted to let you know that our military families partnership starts with us from the minute that the family received their PCS orders. You can do a simple search for the Liberty County school system. Go there, find your school, and register online from anywhere in the world at any time of the day. Once you arrive here on campus, we'll pair that student with a student. We call that program Student to Student. We also have here on campus a military family life coordinator to take care of any issues that the family may have here on campus. We're proud to be one of 5 military flagship schools here in Liberty County. We're proud to provide excellent service to our military families.
Hello, my name is Carissa Young. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of Liberty College and Career Academy. Our goal is for our associates and learner skills needed to get a job, do a job, and keep a job. We love to say every day is career day at LCCA. Our students, which we call associates, come from Liberty High or Bradwell. They come to us for half a day where they focus on career-related classes or dual enrollment courses. We really want our students to earn as many college credits as they can, as well as industry credentials. It's going to give them a foot into the door when they're ready to enter the workforce.
Outstanding. Hey, thank you, Dr. Perry. Now, Mr. Perry, understand you have some opening comments as well.
I do. Well, thank you, Colonel Ramirez, for the invite to come and speak. We've had a busy summer. It started with our leadership conference at Fort Moore. All our leaders from across the district went to Fort Moore for a week-long training, really to equip them to lead our schools. And so I just have a few announcements and some, we have new principals this year here at Fort Stewart. So we have Miss Cheyenne McGrew, who is be taking over as the principal at Kessler Elementary School. We wish Dr. Crowder the best. We thank her for her service, but Cheyenne McGrew will be the new principal at Kessler. Mr. Jared Collins is coming on board as the principal at Murray Elementary School, and he arrives over the next couple of weeks. And so we're looking forward to Mr. Collins and Miss McGrew's leadership as they lead Kessler and Murray. And then also we have Miss Sharon Summerlin, who is an assistant principal. We were able to get a position for an assistant principal that shares between Kessler and Murray. So that will be excellent work for those two schools. Just some dates. Our teachers they come back on July 31st. We do have some teachers that report back. Our counselors, as well as our special education chairs, they report back next week to get things started for students, looking at schedules, looking at IEPs to make sure we're ready on day one. I just encourage parents to make sure that they are registered, make sure, because that really worked with our staffing. You know, last week of school, we're always moving some teachers around just because making sure that our class sizes are just right, according to our student to teacher ratio, which is 18 to 1 pre-K to 3, and then 25 to 1 4 through 6th grade. And so we just make sure you're registered, make sure you have that. We do have a sneak a peek on August 4th from 3:30 to 5. We encourage all our parents to come and meet the teacher. It's not an open house, but it is just a time to come and look at the school. You know, all our 6th graders do go to Kessler, so that'll be new. There will be a 6th grade orientation. Miss McGrew will be getting that out this week. And so, again, sneak a peek August 4th. Our first day of school is August 7th. It's always a fun time. We invite Colonel Ramirez, and so we invite all the others, the band, and the commanding general to come over and really just it's really a celebration that, hey, kids are back in school, let's get going. So again, so I talked about registration, free and reduced lunch applications. We encourage everybody to apply for that. You never know. We do have this year we have a grant from the state, so our free and reduced will all be free. And then, you know, so we encourage that even the reduced rate will get free breakfast and lunch this year. And so we're super excited about that. You know, and really our DoDEA vision is to provide excellence in education, every classroom, every day, everywhere. And so, you know, we're excited for the school year, and that's where we're going. So thank you.
Great. And we have a video for DoDEA schools as well, and let's roll that.
Hi, I'm Talisha Thompson, the principal at Diamond Elementary School, and I'd like to welcome you to the 23-24 school year. We are eagerly preparing for your arrival on August 7th. Please make sure you join us for our sneak peek on August 4th from 3:30 to 5 o'clock p.m. Enjoy the rest of your summer. See you soon.
Hi, I'm Cheyenne McGrew. I'm the new principal here at Kessler Elementary School. I am super excited to get the school year started and to meet all the students and families here. We've got a lot of great things planned to get things started. We'll be excited to welcome in our families, especially for the 6th grade orientation, as we'll have all the schools bringing their 6th graders to us. That'll give our families an opportunity to see the school if you haven't already, to see the lockers, get an idea of where things are in the building if you've not previously attended Kessler. We'll have a sneak peek a little bit later for all of our families, including the 6th grade, and that'll give you an opportunity to meet the teacher, see the classroom they have set up, drop off your supplies, and really get to know the school a little better.
Hi, I'm Sharon Summerlin, the new assistant principal at Murray Elementary. We're really excited to welcome our new principal. He's PCSing right now, Mr. Jared Collins, and we're excited for an amazing start of a school year. So let's take a look around. Our sneak a peek, where you get to meet your teachers and kind of see your classes for the first time, will be on Friday, August 4th from 3:30 to 5. So I can't wait to see everybody there.
And now we'll go out to Bryan County and hear from Dr. Brookshire.
Mr. Fletcher, I want to thank you for having me today. And also I want to send thanks out to Colonel Ramirez for having me so I can share a little bit about Bryan County Schools and the opportunities that we have for our students and parents for the 23-24 school year. Bryan County Schools, if you don't know this already, we've got 9 schools, a little over 10,400 students, and we are very excited about all of our staff coming back on July 25th, and even more excited about welcoming students on August the 2nd. If you need any information about Bryan County Schools, we have put together a back-to-school guide for this upcoming school year. You can find this on our website at bryancountyschools.org, and it should really answer any questions that you have in regards to the school and meet any needs that you do have. If you have additional questions, please be sure to reach out to your individual schools, and they'll be able to answer any questions you may have in a little bit more detail.
Moving over to Chatham County, our new Savannah-Chatham Public School System, Dr. Denise Watts.
Good evening. My name is Denise Watts, and I am the proud 25th Superintendent of the Savannah-Chatham County Public School System. I have hit the ground running in the last 10 days. I have authored a 100-day entry plan to help guide the path forward to ensure that our district as a whole meets inevitable success. And that inevitable success includes you, our military families. And I'm extremely honored to be with you tonight to bring you greetings and to answer your questions about the upcoming school year. As a military family, you know what it means to serve. Every day you get up and you support a service member who is standing by you on long trainings and deployments. And for that reason, we say thank you and we appreciate your service and your support. We are a proud partner with you for the upcoming school year.
And bringing it home back down to Long County with Mr. David Edwards.
Good evening, Colonel Romero. Thank you for having me today. My name is David Edwards, Superintendent of Schools for Long County. We are excited for a new school year. We are eagerly anticipating the return of our teachers next week and our students the week after. Our first day of school for students is August the 1st. And our open house is Thursday, July 27th from 2 to 4. We are excited this year to open a new wing at our high school, a 34,000 square foot addition, which includes our new ROTC facility, 14 classrooms, and a couple of new CTAE labs. And just more room for our students at Long County High School. Also, we've done an extensive renovation at Smiley Elementary. Each classroom and wings have been renovated and have a fresh new look. And we're just excited to open the school year. Our 3-8 school, McClellan Elementary and Long County Middle School, are ready to go. Looking forward to seeing parents and students for a start of a new school year.
Okay, so now, again, like I said at the beginning of this, we've been getting questions on our Facebook and social media platforms for about a week now, and we do have some questions that we'd like to ask in this forum. First one goes to you, Dr. Perry, and it's from Latia Sweat, and she would like to know, When will Liberty County do away with the school uniforms? We are new to this area.
Okay. I cannot say when. That is a board decision. There's been some conversation about it, and I'm sure that we will continue, that conversation. But as of now, I cannot say when that will happen.
Okay. A question from Teresa Romero, and she has a question about protocol for the bus zones as you come on and off the bus. So she says, on the way to school, why is it that the parents are allowed to drop their children off at the side of the road? She basically is making a statement that the stop sign doesn't sound like it's a very safe place for a drop-off, and this is why we have a kiss and ride so that the children are safe. So, any comment on that, Dr. Perry?
Yeah, I would say if naturally we cannot pick up. We have about 7,000 students riding the bus, so we can't pick each one up at their doorstep. But if there is a problem, and if a parent see a problem, please notify us, and we will have the driver go out and look at the situation and correct the situation, because there may be some situations that we are not aware of, that is not a good pickup place. So again, if we know about those things, we will go investigate and come up with the solution and get back to the parent. But I do appreciate parents having those eyes and communicating with us, so we can actually go and do that.
Thanks, Dr. Perry. So this question is actually for Mr. Cook, our school liaison. She wants to know about is there a viable approach from Megan Christen, is there a viable approach for military families to withhold the completion of the impact aid forms if we are not satisfied with the school's performance?
There is not a mandate that you must turn those in or keep them. So there's nothing that forces you to do so. However, we would like to remind our families that the impact aid forms are definitely for the benefit of our military families when all of our school districts. It goes across the board for what the resources might be provided that support our families. So it's not just going to be a one-off for what that form provides. It's actually for the entire district and the entire student population. But those benefits definitely hit our military families through all of our districts that apply for the impact aid. So no, you do not have to turn those in. There's nothing that's going to be stated against you if you don't. But the school districts and the military population definitely benefit from those funds.
Okay. Hey, thanks, Greg. Appreciate that. So next question from Katie Jones is also for Liberty County, Dr. Perry. She asks, where are the bus schedules located for Liberty County? And then she references, that there's been a change in the bus schedules and the timing, and where can families locate this information?
Okay, great question, and I should have covered that in my plan. If what we were trying to do was work on this issue until the last minute, and the board just approved this plan at their last meeting, meaning now that transportation had to go out and get the routes and get everything going. So they're going to be posted on our website, and we're told that Friday we should have those routes. But I do appreciate our parents understanding. We are working on those, and they will be on the website. But it was because of us trying to do everything we could possibly do to avoid the change. And it was just something that we could not do. And once we got the clearance from the board, now we've got to go and make those routes up.
Makes perfect sense.
Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Perry. So, Mr. Perry, Danielle Fuller is asking about, she had submitted a request to keep her child at Murray when they were zoned for Diamond, because they had started at Murray when they first moved here. Can you talk a little bit about the process of how that works and what parents can do?
I can, yes. So any parent can request, we call it an exception to feeder request. So any parent can go to their home school and request to go to another school here located on Fort Stewart. And so, with that, the transportation is the responsibility of the parent. I do review those. The principal is the first one that reviews it, and then the home principal, and then the receiving principal, and then it comes to my office. And so it's really, I'll be honest, it's really solely based on enrollment. There are some special circumstances that we take into effect, but definitely based on enrollment. And so all the ones that have done for this year, we make those decisions really very late because we have a lot of kids that register. If all students were registered today, then we could make those decisions, but we have some families that come in a little bit later and register. And so I'm going to make those decisions a day early, August 3rd, and then contact the sponsors and make sure they know, hey, this is where if you put in the request, it's approved or disapproved. So August 3rd, I'll contact the sponsors and let them know. And I know that's kind of late, but again, it's based on enrollment to make sure that our class sizes are right where they need to be.
Thanks, Mr. Perry. So this next question is also from Megan Kristen, and she has asked all the districts to discuss this. And we'll start with you, Mr. Perry, if that's okay.
Okay.
But she says, with our upcoming deployments and within the 3rd Infantry Division, are there plans to bring more MFLCs into the school, military family life counselors into the schools? And will there be days in which the student is excused if they're seeing their family member off? And what additional challenges are schools expecting within the community due to the upcoming deployment?
Right. All right. So thank you for the question. We are aware of some deployments, and we are, we have counselors in our schools, and I can't speak for the MFLCs or additional MFLCs. We do have an MFLC at each school, and so we do some deployment groups. We do small groups when we know and so communication is key. So if we know, hey, this student has a sponsor that is deployed, then that allows us to have the lunch bunch or the small group, because there's a lot with DoDEA. They're all military connected here on Fort Stewart, so a lot of them are in the same situation, and so we'll have multiple students with a family member deployed this year. So communication of that, making sure that we know that, and so we can have that small group and provide the students with support.
Thanks, Mr. Perry.
So reference the MFLCs, so thank you for that question. So yes, we understand that with the upcoming deployment, the difficulty and the needs required for the MFLCs at the schools. But what we have done this year in particular have renegotiated the contract for the MFLCs, so they're able to actually be at the open houses. So when you do attend those open houses at those school districts, make sure that you are in contact with the MFLC there. So it also depends on demand. So if there's additional resources required, we're very flexible with our MFLCs population, that we could be able to provide additional MFLCs if needed, depending on the situation in the classroom.
Thanks, Colonel Ramirez. Great answer. Dr. Perry.
Yeah, great question. But what I will say is all of our personnel are trained, and we're getting everybody to make sure that our emphasis is on our students, regardless of what concern they have, whether it's mental health, whether it's a crisis or being deployed. We want somebody to be sensitive to that student. So if it's communicated to us, in case we can't see it, we all of our people are trained to work with our students, regardless of where they are. We just need to know what's going on. We need parents to communicate to us, and somebody in that building will be able to assist them.
Thanks, Dr. Perry. Carolina Ruiz says that for Mr. Perry, the morning time, there are many, many, many parents and kids walking and riding their bikes to school at Murray Elementary. And even though there's a stop sign, cars still go speeding past. Is there any way we can get more military police presence in that area?
So thanks for the question. Yeah, school safety, and I think Dr. Perry spoke about it before. That's our number one priority. And so our schools, with arrival and dismissal, they have processes. They have plans, and so we encourage parents to be patient and learn those plans, especially new parents. And as far as MPs, we request that each year, and they have provided support in the past. And so, especially at the beginning of the year, I know Colonel Ramirez and his team will definitely support, and they'll we'll have MPs at all three schools. And so especially at the beginning, and I see them throughout the school year. So we appreciate that support from the garrison and DES. And so again, making sure everybody follows the rules, we encourage those parents to do that, and I know DES will do the same.
Thanks, Mr. Perry. So next question, I think it could be for you, Greg, and possibly Colonel Ramirez. But we had a couple family members. Amy Taylor was the one who posted the question, but they're curious as to why the middle school that on-post children are slotted for is the Midway Middle School when there are middle schools much closer than Midway.
So historically, when it comes to our middle school students, and that's going to be our 7th and 8th grade students heading to Liberty County schools, we needed a school that allowed all of our Fort Stewart students to attend the same school at the same time. And Midway Middle School had the most space for our students. If you look at the population of Hinesville and the Liberty County area, the bulk of our population lives in the Hinesville area itself. So that's where you're going to see Nelson Golden and Lewis Frazier. With those populations, you're going to have most of Hinesville students there. So in a way to capture our students and enable the transportation of our students to the same bus, have the same transition, and to keep those friends coming from their DoDEA schools, Midway Middle School is the place that we have historically sent our students. It's a great school. They are fantastic partners. Midway Middle School is a military flagship school for the state of Georgia. So we are definitely happy with the school that we have and our partnership with that administration and the teachers there. Liberty County has always been a great partner, and they make sure that our families are taken care of. So if there's any other questions when it regards to that trip, it's about a 15-minute trip there and back when it comes to transportation and traffic, but they make sure they get our students there and back safely. So it's a great partnership, and we love going to Midway Middle.
Another follow-up about Midway from Miss Krista Wood. She was trying to register her child for Midway Middle, and then when she was going through the registration process, it came up that she wasn't zoned for the school district because she lives on post. So how does she get around that hurdle?
If there's a hurdle in regards to any registration issues, they can contact my office, 912-767-6533. We'll put them in the right direction with Liberty County Schools. Miss Melanie Ann Pass is our direct point of contact in the district office, that we can tackle any issue that regards to registration. So if there's a hiccup in the system, please let us know, and we'll fix it as quickly as possible, and we'll get your student registered as fast as we possibly can.
Any follow-on comments, Dr. Perry? Or?
I agree with what Mr. Cook just said. All we need to do is know about those things, and we're not necessarily saying. In other words, we'll come up with a solution. We have a customer service. We're one of, I guess, the few school districts that have it on our website. Is a customer service number. And if you cannot get the school, if you cannot get the teacher, and we asked our parents to try and go to the source first, the lowest source of where the issue is happening. That would be the teacher, that would be the principal, and then call this particular line. And as Mr. Cook said, we'll get somebody onto that and make sure that that is resolved.
Great, thanks. Mr. Perry, so Melissa Perigo, she wanted to know, when will the Kessler parents receive any information about the 6th grade class?
Right, so Ms. McGrew has just started, and so they should have received it at the end of last week. And so, if you haven't received that, please reach out to Kessler, and they will make sure you have that. So they should have received that already, and so if you haven't, please reach out to the school and they'll get it to you.
Yeah. So Melissa also had a pretty detailed list of questions within her thread. This one's for you, Colonel Ramirez. So given the events on the installation a couple weeks ago, are there any additional safety measures being made to increase security at our schools, such as increasing our military police presence like they do at Fort Carson?
So we do have increased the military police presence, especially at the very beginning of school, and it just kind of depends on the thing. But the incident that happened last week, there were no additional security measures needed. That was a one-off incident. So I think we're okay, and we're postured for to keep at bay any potential threats or whatever. But we have a very good, close partnership especially with the schools here on the installation, with our Department of Emergency Services. If there's anything, any additional requirement that's needed based on the demand or based on their requirements, we're going to be able to provide that.
Thank you, sir. So Melissa also asked about the status of any field trips for DoDEA this year. Can you talk about that, Mr. Perry?
Yeah, we'll have field trips / study trips. We call it, like to call them study trips now. But yeah, we will have field trips, and so our teachers are the first ones that plan those, and we look at, there's a process that we look through to approve those, and so that they're tied to standards, that they're going to be a learning experience outside the four walls of the classroom, and so yeah, there are field trip funds available, and field trips may happen.
So, Dr. Perry, next question comes from Megan Christine, and it's about transportation to and from Midway Middle and the difficulties that arose last year. She cites quite a few challenges that the students were put up with last year, to include wait times as up to 90 minutes. Can you talk about some of the stuff you've done to mitigate that this year?
Well, we recognize that, and that's why we have changed the starting times at the schools. And we feel like that is going to eliminate it. You notice now we pick up our elementary students first, and those same drivers will have to go and pick up the high and the middle school. But we will unload the high school students first, because their starting time is 8:45. Okay, I'm sorry, middle school is 8:45. High school is going to start at 8:25. So the bus will drop the students off at 8:25 and then go to the middle school. What we were doing this year is we were starting both schools at the same time, so the buses could not get there. So hopefully, we're going to work very hard. We understand how important it is to get students to school on time, and we think that this is going to help us do that.
So a follow-on to that is, she said that her student was frequently marked absent due to missing the first period because of a bus being late. Is there a change to policy for that, or?
Yes. Again, that's a situation where it should not happen. So again, a call to the principal. Okay, if that's not resolved there, a call to our customer service line, which is 912-318-9048, and then we'll fix it. But we're dealing with humans, and we all don't always do everything we're supposed to do, but if we know about it, we'll make sure, because we care about our children. We want our children and our families to get the very best service they can get. So we just simply need to know about those situations.
Thanks, Dr. Perry. This question is for you, Mr. Perry. It's from Vivian. She asks about, again, about an IEP. At Diamond, her 5-year-old needs an IEP, but when she calls and asks, they say the counselor needs to do it when they get in, but if they can't get it before the school starts, how do they go about getting an IEP established?
And so I'll just kind of go a couple of scenarios with that. So if the student has a current IEP, then we are going to abide by that. If it's from another school system, they have to be eligible for a DoDEA IEP, but we're going to abide by that IEP as the student transitions to DoDEA, and then determine what we need for that student to be eligible. If the student does not have an IEP, does not have anything, then there is a process to go through, and if the parent is asking for an IEP for the student to come in with with an IEP, there's a process again, that involves calling the parent in. What are the issues? That involves some intervention if the student's never been on an IEP. That involves some intervention to see, where is the student at academically, and so again, it's a process. There's timelines involved in that process once we start that, and so I just encourage you to reach out to the school, to the administrator. Again, the counselors do come back and a little bit early, and so they are reviewing all these new students that come in with IEPs or with parent concerns that, hey, I need, they have some concerns about their child in a school setting. So again, give us some time. Thanks for your patience, and we have some great counselors and our administrators to reach out to them, and they can share the process for each situation. Thank you for the question.
Thanks, Mr. Perry. This question is also for, this is for you, Dr. Perry, from Megan Christine. And she says, she references a disciplinary issue with a teacher at Midway last year and lack of information coming from the school system about that disciplinary action. And she just wants to know, what are you all doing to keep safe and trustworthy adults in our schools and classrooms this year?
Well, that's a priority. All of our teachers are under the Georgia Professional Standards, which means now that they have a real strict standard that they have to uphold, and we follow that. We expect that. I would say, when those situations come up, we just simply need to know about it. And again, the principal would be the first contact, and if that situation is not resolved there, then it certainly needs to come to our customer service, which is going to end up coming to me. I cannot emphasize anything that's not professional, anything that's not helping our children be all they can be. We need to know about it. We need parents to tell us. And we're gonna work to fix it. This whole thing it needs everybody, and that's why I said earlier to all parents: meet your teachers, meet your principal, even meet the superintendent. So when these things come up, you know who to call. They know you. It makes things a whole lot easier. As we work through some of these things, we become better as an organization. But we have to work through them, we have to solve them, and which makes us better. So that partnership with our parents, that's telling us, not Facebook, not TikTok, but tell us, and then we'll do everything we can do to fix it.
Sound advice, Dr. Perry. Thank you. So this is going to be for all school districts, and I know that you all both have addressed this, but what time and when is open house? And so we'll go out to Bryan County. Dr. Brookshire.
Well, since we have 9 schools, all of our open houses are, they're on different dates, their times vary, but the way that we have built our open house schedule is that we have staggered our times. So if parents have if parents have students that attend schools at different level, for example, if they have an elementary student and a middle school student, they'll have the opportunity to go to both of those open houses. So I encourage parents to please check our open house schedule. You can go to our website, click on the open house tabs under the back to school tab, and all that information will be available there.
Thank you. Dr. Watts.
Very good question. I had the same question myself as a parent of a student who will be coming into the district this year. And I found that information readily available on the Savannah-Chatham Public School System's website, which is www.sccpss.com. You can find that information regarding your specific child's school on the website.
Thanks. Mr. Edwards.
Open house for all schools in Long County will be Thursday, July 27th from 2:00 p.m. to 6 p.m.
Thank you. Can homeschoolers participate in school district specials?
School what now?
School district specials, so anything that's going on after school, clubs, organizations, etc.
Yes, I would say for DoDEA schools, the answer is yes. And so, again, they have to meet the eligibility requirements to attend a DoDEA school, but if they are homeschooled, they can come to specials and participate in after-school clubs with their peers, yes.
Does Liberty County have a stance on homeschool?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Same thing.
Okay.
And
Perfect.
even athletics,
That's right.
they can participate with the Georgia High School Association. They can do that. But again, there needs to be communication. You have to come in because there are some things that time-wise you have to work out in the school. You just can't show up, and so all of that needs to be worked out. But they can participate.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Perry. Dr. Brookshire, how about homeschooling and activities at your Bryan County schools?
I would encourage you to reach out to the individual school regarding opportunities that might be available.
Thank you, Dr. Brookshire. And Mr. Edwards, same question.
I would encourage homeschoolers interested in participation to reach out to us here at the Long County Board of Education, and we'll be happy to discuss that with you.
Thank you. Question for all districts. Where can I find the school bus route information?
So for DoDEA, those are being worked here on the installation, and so those will be communicated out at the sneak a peek, if not before, and on our school websites as well. And so again, our transportation is finalizing those, so thanks for your patience, and we'll get those out. And with the times, definitely at the sneak a peek, and so for parents can plan.
And in Liberty County, we are working as well on ours. Our anticipated date is Friday. They will be on our website. They will also be available at Open House, which is August the 1st from 2 to 6.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Dr. Perry. And Dr. Brookshire.
Our school bus information in regards to the routes and when you need to be at the bus stop. That's an important thing. So if you go, once again, to our back to school webpage, you'll see 2 links, or buttons, one for South Bryan bus routes and one for North Bryan bus routes.
And Mr. Edwards.
School bus route information will be available at Open House. Each school will have a information table for transportation.
Appreciate that. Next question is about after school activities. Where can we find that information at?
So for DoDEA, the principals advertise that, and so they're called extra duty assignments. So they have to identify a sponsor from the teaching staff to say, are they going to take on this extra duty assignment for the after-school club? And so once that is identified, then the principals communicate that out to the parents and the students. Students get to sign up. So I would say, again, thanks for your patience. It'll be I would say a week or a couple weeks into school before those get advertised to the parents.
Okay.
And so principals are working that, identifying sponsors, and then communicating that out, having students sign up and then give rosters. And I would be, I would say by September 1st, those would probably start. In my personal opinion, I think 3 to 4 weeks into school year, those we'd love to get those kicked off for DoDEA schools.
Perfect.
In Liberty County, this information will be available at Open House. I stress the communication with the parent to make sure they have a connection to their school, their principal, so they can get this information.
Perfect. Dr. Brookshire.
The after-school clubs and activities really vary depending on school. So each individual school has different type of club opportunities. But Bryan County does have a very active community education program that offers before-school care, after-school care, and community education classes.
So question for all districts. When will we know our teacher assignments? Mr. Perry.
So for DoDEA, we are, it may seem a little late, but August 3rd, we'll make sure, because again, we're looking at our class sizes. And so August 3rd, we'll have the schools communicate that out. That way, when they come to sneak peek, they know who their teacher is and they can go to the right place. So August 3rd will be the latest that they will get them. Some schools may be able to give them out a little sooner, but by August 3rd, that should be communicated with the parents.
Thank you, sir.
In Liberty County, by August the 1st, that will be Open House with the schedules that will be available at that time.
Okay, perfect. Bryan County.
We've had a long-standing tradition in Bryan County where the teachers will call every single one of their students and individually invite them to Open House. So those phone calls, so our teachers report back on July the 25th. I would say those phone calls will start happening within the first 2 days.
Thank you, sir. Out to Long County.
Teacher assignments will be available at Open House. The high school, Long County High School, has already sent schedules are available for students via their Power School app.
Thank you, sir. And Dr. Watts.
That is exciting information for parents and students to receive. Each school in our district handles that differently. So that would be another really great question to speak with the principal or a teacher or the front office, or ask it at Open House.
Thank you, ma'am. So, question for all districts. We're in a PCS status when school starts, so that means that we've just arrived and we're still living in lodging. Can my student go to school in the county that we're going to be moving to? So this does not pertain to Mr. Perry, but if this person is going to be living in Liberty County, can they exercise school of choice while they're on post, waiting to move into their house?
Again, yeah, that's a situation where we just need to hear the circumstances, but our goal is to accommodate students that's coming in. We're not in the business to make it hard, but there are some things that we need to know, and our administrators need to know in order to handle that. So again, when situations come up like that, by all means, just go and talk to that principal, and we'll figure out a way that we can make things happen.
Thank you, sir. So what would you say, Dr. Watts, about a soldier that wants to live in Chatham County and is still here in processing the installation?
So the answer to that question is yes, you are in transition, and we understand that as a district. I would like to point you to the Student Affairs and Student Registration Office, where you can get specific answers to your questions, and you will get information on what documentation you would need to provide to the school. The contact person for that is Dr. Quintilla Miller Fields, and she can be reached at 912-395-5584.
Thank you, ma'am. And for yourself, the same question, Dr. Brookshire?
You know, all those situations are so different sometimes. What I would encourage you to do is speak to the individual school's registrar, and they'll be able to provide you some guidance about what paperwork we need. We might need a lease. We might need, if they're purchasing a house, the sales agreement, when they're moving, all those different pieces. But we will work with them no matter what.
Thank you, sir. And for you, Mr. Edwards, if they want to come out to Long County, how can they get into your schools?
Long County, we're in a unique situation where we are experiencing tremendous growth. So we have lots of students in our system. We have not lots of students moving in. So the short answer there is that if you're going to, if you have housing documents that you're going to be moving in within 30 days, then we would use those documents to go ahead and enroll your student. If that's not the case, please feel free to reach out to us, and we will work with you and come up with the best solution for all.
Thank you, sir. This question is for Mr. Cook. So I live off post, however, can I get my student into a DoDEA school?
So unfortunately, you are not able to attend the DoDEA schools on Fort Stewart unless you do live on installation housing. So your sponsor must be assigned to Fort Stewart, and you must also live on housing. As of right now, there's not an exception to that. Some other installations may allow that, just simply because they're not DoDEA schools. So if you're coming from an installation that does allow students to attend school on post, but you live off post, that generally is going to mean that you have a state school district on that installation. But here at Fort Stewart, we do have DoDEA schools. All three of our schools are DoDEA schools, so you must show that you do live on installation housing.
Thanks, Greg. Appreciate that. Question for all the districts. How can I volunteer at my student's school? Mr. Perry.
Yeah. For DoDEA, yeah, definitely. We love, we've, since COVID-19, we've opened our schools back up. We really love volunteers to come in, and so they just need to contact their school. We do have a volunteer application, a volunteer process. So again, school safety is our first, and so there is some checks that we do. So any volunteers that come in, there are some checks that we do to make sure that our kids are safe and around those who, that keep them safe. So again, there's a volunteer application process. So I encourage them to go to the school they want to volunteer at, and our front office staff will work them through that process.
Perfect. Thank you. Dr. Perry.
Our process is the same. We love for parents to get involved, but there is a checklist or a safety that we just can't allow anybody to come into our schools, but we love it. We encourage it. It can go through our public relations or go through the school that you would like to volunteer in.
Great. Outstanding. Bryan County, how can we volunteer at your schools?
You know, one of the great ways to volunteer almost immediately is to get involved with your local school's PTSO and sign up for the different volunteer options that they have. And sometimes the schools will individually reach out to parents and guardians to see if they would like to volunteer for specific items or things going on in the schools.
Thank you, Dr. Brookshire. Long County, how can we get volunteers in your schools?
So school volunteers have to go through the, first of all, meet with our principal and also go through the volunteer procedures, which includes a background check as well as some training viewing modules. So I would encourage you to reach out to the school principal if you're interested in volunteering.
Thank you, Mr. Edwards. And Dr. Watts, how can we get volunteers into Savannah-Chatham?
First of all, we would love for you to be a volunteer in a Savannah-Chatham Public School System school. And if you are able to do that, I encourage you to go to the link on our website, sccpss.com, and look for the Vista Volunteer Program. And if you click on that link, it will guide you through the process to become a volunteer.
Thank you, Dr. Watts. For all districts, how can we get, what is the cost for lunch, and how can we get reduced meals? Are they available? We'll start with yourself, Dr.
I don't have the cost in front of me. Again, I would direct anybody to our website or to the school, particularly at open house. That information will be given.
Okay. Mr. Perry?
And so for DoDEA schools, again, lunch applications part of the registration, but also, again, that is an application that has to be done every year. So you can't, if you were free last year, you still have to apply. And so just encourage parents to make sure they've applied, make sure they can contact the school, they can contact the food and service managers at the school to see if their application is being processed or to kind of get the status of that. And so again, our free and reduced, if you do qualify for free and reduced, it's going to be free here on Fort Stewart. And then also, I believe breakfasts are $2 and lunches are $3, but that will be advertised throughout the school. So if I'm a little off on that, but I believe $2 for breakfast, $3 for full price lunch for students.
Thanks, Mr. Perry. Our last question for the night is about exceptions for military families on the health screenings and shot records based on the fact that they're just now arriving on the installation with the start of the school year.
I can speak on that. So with the Interstate Compact for Military Child Education, all of our states, all 50 states signed this document. It's part of their state laws, and part of that piece is going to be the allowance for our military families to have 30 days upon registration to turn in our immunization, our ear, eye, and dental screening forms here in the state of Georgia. So you do have that ability to start school without them. You have the ability to register, whether that's online or in person. And as you are working to get those documents filled out, whether here on Fort Stewart or with your medical provider, your student can go to school. So there's not a stoppage of registration without those two documents. So we know that our families coming here must have those signed off by a Georgia physician for both documents. And that does take a little bit of time here. So our school districts are very well aware of that process, and they work with us and our families closely to allow our students to quickly enroll in our schools and get the education they need right when they need it.
Perfect. Thanks, Greg. And sounds like we're closing out our information session, so thank you. Sir, any closing comments?
Yeah, so a big, huge thank you to all our superintendents for participating today. It was truly informative, and I just hope you viewers out there got the answers you needed. Please just rest assured that, you know, the education, the safety, and the security of our most prized possessions, our children, right, are the #1 priority for everyone seated here and all the superintendents out there online. So if you have any additional questions, you can always reach out to your school liaison officer, Mr. Greg Cook. He's got the answer to everything. So 912-767-6533, and he can run that information down for you. So as my time in command comes to a close, I just want to thank all of you for all the support that you provided me and our Fort Stewart-Hunter Army Airfield Garrison teammates. This has been truly the most enjoyable assignment of my career. Thank you guys for watching. Let us know how we're doing and where we can improve using the ICE comment, so you can fill out a comment right on our website, home.army.mil/Stewart. Also, I look forward to seeing you and your family at Marmpalooza. Thank you and a good night.